Hello everybody, we're here, we are live, we are ready to go, and oh, I just clicked on the research development. I thought that was a message there for a second. And so let's get started with what we're going to be talking about. So I got this, it's still about this Impactor Probes strategy that I got down here to the right, where I'm supposed to impact 3 different celestial bodies, planets / moons, and I built 3 vessels, tried this 3 times, once for Minmus, discovered Minmus really isn't on the list, went for Eve and Gilly. Eve, it blew up in the atmosphere, and I suppose I should have seen that coming. That doesn't count as an impact. And so I did get Gilly, so I'm 1 for 3, and I really want to start off with just finishing this off, getting this out of the way. And my original plan was to do Eve and Gilly and then head off to Moho. You can see I got a Moho window coming up in 31 days. But then I got to thinking, Duna makes way more sense, because Duna has Ike. I could send 1 vessel with 2 probes on it towards Duna, hit Ike, think about the atmosphere this time and reach down to Duna's surface. The addition of a heat shield should take care of that. And that makes a lot more sense with 1 vessel. After I do these impactors, once this part is done, my next project is going to be going flybys, and I do plan on flybying Moho, so we will end up investigating Moho. But why don't we start off with taking a look at where that Duna window is. Sorry, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the transfer window planner. Of course, we want to go from Kerbin to Duna. We'll start with an 80-kilometer orbit, and we're just going to do no insertion burn. We're just going to crash into Duna. We're not going to get ourselves in orbit, and we're going to plot that. And I actually did. I'm not a good enough actor to fake this. I saw this. I actually checked this out before the stream, and I do have a window like right now. Right now, I have an ejection burn of 1,047 meters per second if I leave right now and head out to Duna. So let's add that to Kerbal alarm clock. And it's telling me it added into the past because it did it at the start of the day today. We'll just ignore that. We'll get rid of the Moho one. We'll visit Moho at another time. But right now, what I want to do is I want to get to Duna. I want to get building on that pretty much right away. Just to inform people of a couple of things that I have done in the meantime is I did take my Weasley 1 jet plane and I flew it around and collected some more science. I just did that between the 2 streams because that gets quite a bit boring. I also took the liberty of moving my seismic rover, which was over here in the shores, and I moved it up and it's now parked in the grasslands, collecting more seismic data over there. Again, this drive was pretty dull, so I did it between the 2 streams. Also, speaking of science, while I'm thinking about science, let's pull up our science archive from Kerbalism. For those people that are wondering, the surface deployed mystery goo observations, this is that comes with the Making History DLC. Does that work with Kerbalism? And I've discovered, yes, it does. I put one on the moon quite some time ago, and so far it has transmitted 13.5 science out of a total of, oh my god, I guess that's 125 if you add the 2 together. That's a pretty pitifully slow rate, but it does work. So for those people that are curious, does it work? Yeah, it does work. So we'll do that. Okay. Hello to everybody just joining us in the stream. Let's jump. Oh no, I do want to. Sorry, before I do that. I have 215 science. I wants to spend it, and I've already been eyeing because I want to build better planes. I'm really looking at both of these 2 supersonic flight and aerodynamics, advanced aerodynamics. And I think this one's more useful for me because I just don't have good wing parts, and this has a good collection of additional wing parts and elevons and other things as well. So I'm going to grab that one, and hopefully by the end of this stream I'll grab supersonic flight 2, and we'll get ourselves some, for next week, get ourselves some good planes going. Okay, into the VAB we go. Into the VAB. Okay, and we're gonna open up, let's see, yeah, we'll just start here. Let's open up the Eve one, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna modify this thing and send it off to Duna. So this is now going to be the Duna one. There we go. And we're going to modify it, make it appropriate for Duna and Ike. That is the plan. And we'll start off with, we'll just put this booster aside for now. Might end up reusing it. And also what we'll put aside is, this is 2 probes here. This one. There we go. And we're just going to look at this one. And the plan for this one is for it to hit Duna. So what we want to do is we want to modify it so that it's appropriate for that. I want to ensure it gets to the surface. So in order to ensure it gets down to the surface, we're going to put on a big old heat shield at the front, and it's just going to plow through the atmosphere. Duna's atmosphere is much, much thinner than Eve's, so it should be easier for it to get through, but that's going to be how we're going to get through. We're also, let's see here. Let's just put the science aside here. So we're going to use the exact same science as we did before. Also antennas. I have 2 of these DTS-M1 antennas. They'll probably be okay for Duna, but to be honest, when I went through and started looking at the math of this, I think it would be better with 3. It just loses communication at Kerbin's and Duna's furthest separation with just 2 antennas, and it does affect the rate at which you can transmit stuff back to Kerbin. And as this thing is not going to survive, the more I can transmit, the better. So I think 3 antennas is going to be the way to go with this. And let's just tweak this a little bit so it looks a little bit better, like that. That looks all right. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so 3 antennas. There we go. Okay. And now got all the same science. I think all the science is set to waiting. Yep, and the thermometer is waiting, and the Geiger counter is waiting. Okay, let's open up our Kerbalism little window down here. And what we got to do is now think about electricity. The electrical demands are exactly the same as they were before, 0.362 units of electric charge per second. And are these calculated into it? I think so. I don't know why it says 0 for. If I take that off, there they are. This is getting shadowed. It says here that these will produce, and yeah, it's estimated based upon how they're positioned, 0.429 units of electric charge per second, which you would think should be fine. It was fine going to Eve. However, we are not going towards the sun. We're going away from the sun. Kerbalism gives you the ability to switch the target body. So I'm going to switch that to Duna. And notice now it's only producing around Duna 1.67 units of electric charge. Not enough to overcome what it is producing. And that's because, well, Duna's further away from the sun, and the inverse square law is in play, and we're going to be losing solar power rapidly as we move away from the sun. So this whole setup won't cut it. What I need, finally, there were people last week, or last stream, asking, why don't you use these? Finally, I need them. I need I'm going to put on just 1 for now. Let's do that. There we go. I finally need and I like these 1x6 ones more than the 2x3 ones, but I finally do need the extendable solar panels like this one. And you can see now, even by Duna, this thing's producing 0.639 units of electric charge, and that is absolutely plenty for this. However, if I click on these cells, you can see here that there's an ability to change it from standard quality to high quality, which increases the price and the mass of the thing. And this has to do with its failure rate. Anything that can fail in Kerbalism, you have the ability to adjust its quality. And if this solar panel failed, I would be in a lot of trouble because I have no way, obviously, of fixing it, and then I can't generate any power. And there's 2 ways to deal with that. One is to make it a higher quality, but that doesn't bring the fail down to 0. It just makes it less likely. So I think the better plan is just to put 2 of them on here. So what we'll do is we'll put 2 solar panels, and we'll probably, as we head out, only, in fact, why don't we remove the symmetry right now? We'll probably, on our way out, only extend one of them like this, and then the other one's in reserve. If this one fails, I can then extend the other one, and then we can put that on top, and, oh, I think, is it going to be, yeah, I should make this lower. I just realized I put the symmetry. Let's throw that away. We'll fix all that later. There we go. So that should deal with power generation. And I love this ability in Kerbalism for you to switch the place you're going to, and it will work out the solar panel. And in fact, all the way down here, I've got to find the right spot. There is a redundancy, radiation, reliability. There is a redundancy section. And it will tell you, like, you know, for instance, I have 3 communication devices, 3 antennas, so if one of them goes, I have an extra one. I have 2 modes of power generation, both of those 2 sets of solar panels, but I only have 1 means of attitude control, which is the reaction wheels that are in here. And again, if I wanted to, I can put the reaction quality on high. But the truth of the matter is, or give it another means of attitude control, but the truth of the matter is this thing should really, it shouldn't have to do that much. I should be able to just kind of, I'm going to have another probe under it. This guy's still coming up underneath it. No, this one. So this thing doesn't need, hopefully all I'll do is aim it at Duna and let it go, and then that is that. So let's see, how are we? I think this thing has now, oh no, I know what else I wanted to do. Sorry. I know what else I wanted to do is I'm going to put this thermometer up here, just to get it out of the way, and we'll put this guy on the other side here to get it out of the way. I also want to ensure, let's retract everything, that when this thing goes through the atmosphere, and I am very likely to lose signal with it as it goes through the atmosphere, I want to make sure that it will orient itself the way I want, with the heat shield down. I put on the center of mass in the center. Well, it doesn't even register the center of lift because there's no aerodynamic part. So what I'm going to do to kind of finish this off is take my smallest set of tail fins right here, and I'm just going to put 3 of them on here, just like that. And then that brings the center of lift way downwards. This thing, even if I don't have any control of it, should go heat shield first. It's now like a great big dart. So I'm thinking, I'm going to tuck these in a little bit, make them look a little nicer. I'm thinking. This could be a probe for me. I'm thinking this might work. Let's see, can I improve the look-sees a little bit? Yeah, I think that should work. So that's the part. How much delta V? It's got 98 meters per second left. That should be fine. Like I said, it might not use any of it if everything goes well. Really tiny thrust to weight, but again, that really shouldn't matter. So there we go. There is the Duna part of this. Now what I want to do is look at the Ike part of this. So we'll bring back this probe here. Delete the fairing for now. We got to do a lot of the same changes. These solar panels are not good enough. We're going to have to use a pair of these. Oops, 2 of them will be good. Like so. As well, let's move the Geiger counter and the thermometer. We're going to need 3 antennas for communication. Probably don't need 3, but I think 3 probably is not a bad plan. Which way do they extend? Oh, they extend the other way, so the solar panels are kind of... All right, we'll flip these around. Oops. Oops. Always the last one you pick. That should be okay, I guess. Oh, wait, I'm on 2-way symmetry now. 3-way symmetry. All right. Retract those antennas. We'll, again, just kind of bring them out a little bit here so they look a a little bit better. Okay, and I think I've taken... Oh, I want to take this decoupler. Sorry. And bring that force percentage down to 0. When I went to Eve and I detached these probes, the force of this messed up my carefully laid trajectory. I want to avoid that one this time. So that should be good. I think that's all I really need to do. Again, same experiments, so yeah, I think that's about it. Now, the budget was about 1,050 meters per second to get to Duna, and this thing has 1,322. I'm just going to leave it exactly the way it is. Or can I get away with taking these off, maybe? No, that took away a little too much, didn't it? All right, we'll put those back. Put them back. We'll leave it exactly the way it is. I don't like the way... I just don't like the glitchiness of this. Let's see if we can improve this a little. I don't like the way that those were interfering. What else could I potentially do? Can I stick these on radially? Maybe. I'll see what that looks like. Take a few of these. Flip them up. I don't think that's terrible. That puts me up to not quite enough. Maybe another pair. I do like these little ones. That's 12, 11. I think that should be fine. I think that should be fine for that. Oh, this engine here is going to want to be doing a lot of work. The Spark engine. I have it on high quality, but I'm still thinking an alternate means of, well, we'll leave it. Life on the edge. We'll see how it goes. Does this have gimbaling on it? It does have a gimbal limit, so that should give me an alternate means of attitude control too, should the reaction wheels in this guy go. I'm thinking this is it. I'm thinking this is my Duna. This is my Duna probe. I don't really think I'm missing much. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do this. Let's send this on its way to Duna. So, building the fairing. I think I have to come out a little bit. Yep. Get around that heat shield. Close the fairing. There we go. Oh, let's get into action groups. I want to remove the symmetry on these solar panels and these ones too. Again, we're only going to extend one because we just need, and then that saves the other one. So on action group 0, we have the communitrons extending. Yep, that seems reasonable. I'm assuming that's all 3 of these. Yeah. And we will extend that solar panel and the one on the opposite side. And then the other ones we won't extend unless we need them. Okay, that's good. And the fairing should be on 5. It still is, so that's good, that's good, that's good. What do I get if I slap this same old booster back on? Does that work? That works. Jeez, I don't have to do too much, do I? Wants to save time. Let's delete the fairing. I guess I got to rebuild this fairing again. There we go. Okay. Bump, bump, bump. And that fairing won't be... Okay. Let's go through our checklist. So I'm thinking... Fine print, I've gone through that before. I think I've got that covered. Control should be good. KOS, there should be a KOS chip in here. Same as from before, there should be one. The probes should be configured because all of the stuff I didn't change. Power generation should now be good. Electrical storage, I think, should now be good. I think so. Antenna strength. Yeah, because it was good as before. Antenna speed should be good. Data storage is good because it's no different than before. Propulsion is good. RCS is irrelevant. Parachutes are irrelevant. Thermal protection, it now has. Lights, I never changed the lights from before. Upgrades are good. Thrust to weights, let's check that. Could use a little more thrust here. Oh, come on. That's good. And I suspect this core is pretty, it should be okay. That's a full thrust anyway, I can't do anything. Fairing deploy, should we test it? Nah, it's okay. And staging, let's check the staging. So these two engines on the bottom, then release that, then the core stage, then that upper stage, and then the other upper stage. All right. Okay, I think, and I'm doing a quick look down the chat to see if anyone's screaming at me, but I think we're good. I'm gonna save this. I'm just gonna flat out launch it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go to Duna. Yes, I want to go to Duna. That's what I want to do. So this probably won't take the whole stream. What I'm thinking about for the second part of this stream is I'm going to want to build a new plane, but what I want to do, and I got a reason for it, I want to play with the the propeller parts. I've been playing around on my own time with the propeller parts. I want to build a prop plane. I think I got to use that for the second half. Once, hopefully, fingers crossed, we are successful in getting through to Duna. The not testing will bite you in the rear. Well, you can all hope for that if you want to. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run, what did I call this? Launch time, I believe. And then I put in an ejection angle. And that ejection angle is right here. And the ejection angle should be 160.93. Sure, why not? 160.93. I always find it actually rather comical when these things are expressed with such monstrous accuracy that we know none of us could ever achieve in game. Okay, we're going to... So what this is giving me is a couple of launch times. I should launch either at... What time is it now? 0:02, so 2 right after midnight. Or 3:02, which is actually coming up in just a couple of minutes. So we'll hit for that one. And I think I did a really bad job of explaining why that works. And see if I can explain it a little better, like what I'm trying to accomplish with these specific launch times. I did this when I went to Minmis, and when I went to Eve, and I think I did a really crap job. Okay, and it has to do with the fact that there is an ejection inclination. Now, although it's really small, it's 1.45, so this is probably unnecessary, but it's easy for me to do. But what I want to do, if I show the ejection angle, here's the ejection angle. So here's where we want to do our ejection, right on this line heading, and then burn in prograde in that direction. Sorry, I'm watching time at the same time. And I want to have, when I go into my parking orbit, my equatorial ascending or descending node of that parking orbit 90 degrees from that. So what this is doing is giving me the times when I'm going to be 90 degrees from this ejection angle. And then those are the right times for you to go into your proper parking orbit. And I'm coming up to that time right now. Now, the inclination is positive 1.45. We're going to do the burn here, which is going to push up our orbit in that direction. We want the orbit to be going upwards above Kerbin's equatorial plane at an angle of 1.45 degrees. So that means at this moment here, I should be launching 1.45 degrees towards the north to get into the appropriate parking orbit. And hopefully, I'm hoping that makes some sense. And it's not significant here because it's only a tiny ejection inclination. But if this were a larger inclination, so run launch, sorry. If the inclination were larger, I should look here. What is the inclination? 1.45. This actually could save you quite a bit of delta V. Here it's not, but oh dear. That's what happens when I type and talk at the same time. 45, 80 kilometer orbit. Go. Okay, here we go. And hopefully this will make a little more sense. Let's close this one window. Kerbal alarm clock over here to the side. Once we're in our parking orbit, I'm hoping this makes more sense. All right, so it's lifting off. Stage 1 is good. It did not blow up on the pad. It has happened before. Oh, and again, I use smart parts to deal with the staging. My script doesn't deal with staging during the launch. But this is an old booster, and I keep forgetting to put smart parts on, so there isn't a smart part. So I'll have to stage manually. Otherwise, the script is dealing with everything for me. Okay, we'll see you, John. John's got to get himself back to work. I'm glad you showed up. Appreciate it. Okay, I gotta get ready to stage here. There we go. That went well. I also should put some form of separatrons or something on those. I'm so lazy to just keep using these same old boosters all the time. If you're wondering, like, for instance, why is this thing in the middle of it, this little service bay? It's because at the time I only have these small reaction wheels. So what I did is I put small reaction wheels inside this little 1.25 meter service bay so that it's still, you know, all one diameter on its way down. But I now do have 1.25 meter reaction wheels. I could easily replace them. I'm just really freaking lazy. Okay, so insertion's going good. Oh, I don't have inclination up here. I actually have to look at it. I haven't gone in here and tweaked. So we're now in an inclination of 1.4 degrees. I'm trying to remember what it was shooting for. 1.45. I don't know. I don't think it shows it that accurately. I'm sure it will be fine. I think we were incredibly fortuitous that we had our Duna launch window like now. Just got lucky there. Well, now it's saying 1.5 degrees for the inclination. But it's locked to prograde, so this inclination shouldn't be changing too much now. We have flat Earth Kerbals. Paul Adler says, do you think the Kerbals are bickering as to whether Kerbin is flat or not? All right. Gonna get fairing separation at 50 kilometers. Just realizing as well, sorry for the... Whoa, what the... Turn that gimbal limit down. Okay, that's settling that down. Let's turn the gimbaling right off. Wow. Okay, that's what happens when you don't test. You get some... Oh, we're getting some glow on this heat shield. We're kind of pushing through the atmosphere. This might not have been smart. I think there's a lot of drag up top because of the heat shield. Okay, we've reached 80 kilometers. Yes. Wow, this thing is wonky. Well, I hope it's not going to pose too much issues. Wonder why it's suddenly so wobbly. Do some on-the-fly auto strutting. See if that helps. Isn't there auto strutting on this thing? Auto strut. Oh, that made a difference right there. There we go. Look at the glow on the heat shield. Yeah, I think the shield might have been... I should have kept that fairing on longer. But then again, I don't know, the script did it, so I'll blame it on the script. It should have known better. Okay, can I time warp a little bit? Yep. Time warping is fine. Get ourselves out of the atmosphere. Okay. Go lights on, stuff deploying. Okay. Let's get to the burn. Okay. about here at the burn. It said 30 seconds here, 20 seconds to the burn. Yeah, I went with the bigger heat shield because the 0.625 meter heat shield doesn't quite cover the probe. So I thought going bigger was better. All right. And off we go. It's nice seeing these deployable solar panels. It's been a lot. I've had them unlocked for a long, long time. Okay, there is our insertion. Let's just rotate this way for the... That's a nice spot so the solar panels can keep catching the rays. Still got 359 meters per second in this stage, so we'll hang on to it for now. In fact, why don't I, while I'm thinking about it, turn down the thrust on this so it isn't berserk. That's good. Okay. Let's set up that ejection burn. So again, this little ejection burn thing that's coming from transfer window planner, we need to put our ejection right here. And according to transfer window planner, what's the prograde part? This should be 1044. So we'll go to here. Oh, select the maneuver. We'll put in 1044 and see what we get. All right, are we close to Duna? Let's set Duna as target. Why won't you let me set you as a target? I need to close this again. I got too many windows open. Well, that's weird. Oh, I am hitting it, but I can't set it as a target. That's very strange. But I can see I got my intercept anyway. That worked out really well. Let's focus our view. Oh, I can't focus our view on Duna. What a pain. Why is it being that way? Let's go back to here, and back to here. Wow. Close this. I'm clicking on Duna, but I can't get the focus my view there. I'm just closing other windows. I don't know if maybe somehow they're in the way. Oh wait, it was there. I saw it for a second, didn't I? Am I crazy? Okay, I can't keep... Oh, I'm time warping? Nope. That was a good thing. I saw the... I don't know how much time I want to spend with this. I might just burn this thing and then deal with it. Because I can see my intercept. I just can't tell. Well, I mean, I hate this. I could... Oh, wait, I gotta select the maneuver. Okay. I mean, I can just... Oh, it's not letting me do this. There we go. That's what I want. I can see if I can get it closer with just timing it. Let's see. Is that makes it further away? That makes it closer. Closer, closer, closer. I have no idea what the intercept is like. A little bit more prograde. Sure. Oh, that made it worse. That made it better. Does normal help a little bit? I mean, adding a smidge of normal. I'm hitting something now. I have no idea what's going on. I might be hitting Ike. Oh. You know what? I'm going to go with that. I'm hitting something with this, so might just take that as an advantage. Okay, let's just do this burn. So, burn's coming up in 13 minutes. Yeah, let's do it. I'm wondering if I just left here and came back, but I just don't want to waste stream time fiddling with that. Spin this puppy around. Let's do this thing. Do have to put that right onto the maneuver node. There we go. Rotate it, roll it this way too. That looks better. Okay. A little bit of, I don't know, that's really bugging me. I want to figure out why that was doing that. But, okay, we're 13 seconds from the burn, so I really can't spend my time fiddling with this too much. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off. Now we're going to lose this core stage and the booster in just a bit. Then we'll be on our little engine. And we're off. Alright, and still got about a minute left in the burn. And do a smidge of time warping here, just to speed this up. Time warp off. I'm just going to go by the maneuver because I just can't trust what I'm seeing. Oh, we're leaving Kerbin. Use throttle. Alright. What's that got for us? Now, can I select you now? I cannot. This is really, really, really bugging me. Because without focusing in on Duna, that's going to really get on my nerves. So what I'm going to try doing, let's see. Well, just this guy is on its way. It is fine. So I'm just going to quickly drop over to the Space Center. See if we cannot rectify this situation by just simply leaving and coming back. All right, so we'll just go now back. Yeah, somebody's saying, yeah, there's a suggestion to go back to the Space Center and try that. Someone else is saying, choose the tab. Oh my gosh, I could just use tab to switch the focus, of course. Somebody's just, why don't you just hit tab? Yeah, that would work. Because I want it to work the way it's supposed to work. Okay, I am just switching tab now. So I should be able to just do it this way. It's just dumb that I can do it this way. There we go. That works. How close did I get doing that blind? It's not so bad. Not so bad. Okay, let's set up a correction. Yeah, just hitting tab. It's still not working, this focus view thing, but... ah, well, whatever. Okay, so adding a maneuver here. And I can see... let's try radially this way. Nope, it's radially the other way. Bringing that in. And then we can play with the timing a bit. And all I do is just put this up to something big, like here, even bigger. 5,000 seconds. And then, yeah, see how that's bringing it closer? So that means it's better to do it a little later. Though it's hardly super... I got it on the biggest time jump I got. Okay, maybe it'd be better to actually drag it. So like that. I might be able to just get my hit right here. Just drag it closer. Yeah, there we go. Get that as small as I can get it just by adjusting the time. In around there. Okay, now come back. I hope to not do as much fiddling as I did when I went to Eve. Okay, I can't remember which way I was going. This way? The other way. Smaller scale. This is a teeny tiny burn that I'm doing here. and I want to come in. If I have this equatorial, then it'll make it easier for me to do my adjustment to go to Ike. And I'm going to also try and come in and not come in quite as head on. I'm hoping that will reduce the severity of the impact, but it's only a 4.6 meter per second correction that's coming up here. So I see no reason why not just to simply put this on free and just time warp to this maneuver. Let's just do it. So here we go. We are off super fast. Super fast to the maneuver, which was hundreds of days away. I didn't even really pay attention. And, oh, warning. Solar panel malfunction on the Octo 1. That's perfectly fine. That is an old probe. That might have been the first thing I put in an orbit, actually. And it has malfunction, which is, I don't care. It's not doing anything. Okay. So we're going to put this onto our burn vector here. You can see it's mostly radially straight towards the sun. And we're going to turn down this thrust. It's now a 6-second burn. And I don't have to wait till the timer gets down to 0 because this is by no stretch time sensitive. Let's get ourselves back. Looking at this from Duna's perspective, there's our thing. And yeah, we just want to kind of just barely, oops, put that right on the maneuver node. Right there. Close enough. Okay, just a little bit of throttle. And I'm just going to cut this when we're just coming into Duna here. And we got to work out a trajectory to hit our Ike. Oh, there's a hit. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's interesting. I am hitting Ike right now. Okay. Let's... Oh, what am I going to do here? I guess I can just... Yeah, but it's not showing what the next part of this is going to be. Okay, let's undo a little bit of what we just did. We might end up flying by Ike and then hitting Duna. I don't know if I want to do... I don't think I want to do that. I'm just worried about flying by will mess up some future strategy. So I'm burning ever so slightly out of the way to get rid of... Well, at least hitting Ike's going to be easy. I am burning so... Boom. There. So we're missing Duna by a little bit. Kind of curious why the maneuver seemed to say it was going to be okay. But that's okay. So what we'll do, we'll end up having to use this other engine anyway. So we're going to do a separation. I'm going to point this straight prograde when I do this. Hoping that will affect my trajectory the least. So this one I want to still hit... well, this one has to be the one to hit Duna because it has the heat shield on it. And then we'll adjust this guy, which really shouldn't be much, to hit Ike. So decouple. There we go. That's that one. And now let's get back to this one. Seemed to be still a bit of force with that, didn't there? Okay, and oh my... Am I hitting Ike as it is? I mean... Still, I gotta... can I tabify? Look at that! I'm actually hitting Ike. I don't have to touch anything. I'm just barely hitting Ike. Let's actually make a little bit... Which way? Let's put a maneuver out here. Let's smack dab Ike in the middle. Which way? Which way? This way? Nope, the other way. A little more. And normally downwards. There we go. less normally downwards. There's a nice kerschmack. Okay, so this is obviously a pitiful little burn. I think this thrust is already way down, but we're going to have to put it down as low as she goes. So 0.5. That's 5, dummy. 0.5. There. It's as low as that goes. Let's see if we can put this on here. Ike really wants us to get in the way, which is actually would have been great if I was interested in doing flybys and gravity assists and stuff. Ike's really kind of being in a nice spot for all that. Unfortunately, there. That's a nice hit of Ike. And okay, so that is this probe taken care of. Let's adjust this for the solar panels, which is, I think I just need to rotate this. Okay. There's what I'm shooting for. So that should give some good solar panel exposure there. Get alarm clock. And add an alarm for that sphere of influence change that's coming in 105 days. Can I switch still to the other one? Yep, it's still here. How's this fellow doing? Let's activate its engine. And this is the one I want to hit Duna. But I'm thinking I probably have to wait until I'm in Duna's skip past Ike and then adjust its course to Duna. Don't like that. See if we can still fix this. Stupid Ike's getting in the way. Okay, that's saying I'm hitting Duna without hitting Ike. So what is the dealio? What if I come southwards a little bit? That might not be a bad plan. Because in that way, maybe I can get below Ike's equator. I like that. Sure. Okay, let's see if that can make this a little better. I sure would like to have both of these on a trajectory that I don't have to worry about them anymore. So we'll do that. Again, I got to nerf that thrust because it's saying that this burns 0.7 seconds. So we're going to come to here. Nerf that thrust. There we go. Again, I'm not paying any attention to which way, but the time to the burn, I just wanted to get that direction. Let's do this. So, and hopefully we're avoiding Ike this time. And come on, a little bit of a hit. Just want a little hit. Little hit. That's exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, I think I got both of these now on the trajectory that I like. So what I'm going to do is again add an alarm for who's going to get there first. Oh, shoot. I should really rename this one. I think this one's the Duna 1. This one's the Duna 1. It's going to get there second. Duna 1 probe is going to get there first. Okay, so let's just adjust this again for solar panel purposes. I think it's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Okay, let's get to this one. Jump to that ship because it's going to be the winner of this race to Duna's SOI. We're going to rename this. Rename you the Ike one. And we're also going to start all of this science so that it's ready to go when we are in Ike's SOI. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to I'm getting a comment. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say your name wrong. It's Torborn? I'm sorry if I said that wrong, which I probably did. Is saying that to use trajectories, and I plan on doing that once I'm in Duna's SOI to use trajectory. So I'm actually probably not going to have my trajectory hitting Duna's surface. Instead, we're going to, we want to descend and crash into Duna, but I want to come in as shallow as I can, and trajectories is definitely going to help out with that. But I'm going to wait until we're in Duna's SOI for that bit of funness. Okay, we've got to time warp. Yeah, let's time warp. I think I can. Let's do it. Whoops, that's not what I want. That's what I want. And somewhere along here, well, we're not. We're still 60 days away. We shouldn't be seeing Duna yet. There's a problem with a solar panel on the Octo 1. The Octo 1 is falling apart. Not that I care, as long as these guys make it. And a reaction wheel on the Octo 1. The Octo 1 is dying. It is dying. But it does happen. Things wear out over time. Okay, we are... Where's Duna? There's Duna. Duna and Ike. Okay, that's our alarm for crossing into Duna's SOI. We're about a minute away. Oh, here, let's get back to our actual probes. So let's time warp that part away here. And here we go. Our first vessel in Duna's SOI. It should be collecting all kinds of high space science and transmitting that away. Our signal, 79%. I'm glad I put on the extra third antenna. I think that's really going to help with the transmission speed. Let's time warp. We're only going to be for about an hour and a half before the other one crosses the SOI, so I do want to check on that. It's transmitting it all away. It's going to beat the other one. Oh, a little more time warping. Go faster. Yes, send an engineer out to fix the Octo 1. That's not a bad idea. I like that idea. James is saying to send an engineer out to fix the Octo 1. Depending upon the nature of the malfunction, they are often repairable. And more often than not, in fact, they are repairable. And engineers can go out there and fix them. And I think that might be a fun mission, because the Octo 1 is in orbit around Kerbin somewhere. I just don't exactly know where. That is a very good idea. Okay, Duna 1 is going to its SOI change. So let's jump over to the Duna 1. And I just want to, again, just go until we have crossed over here. Okay. And so it has no science to collect because the Ike one beat it to the punch. But what I want to do is focus my view here. There, it's going to let me do it. It's good. And I want to put on trajectories. You can see it's already predicting an impact location right on the South Pole here. But what I'd like to do... Where's my trajectories? Which one of these guys is trajectories? I want to open up the trajectories window. There it is. It says trajectories. There we go. Where our target is Duna. We are going to be going in a prograde direction through the atmosphere. That should be good. Angle of attack is 0. Yep. So what I want to do, I'm going to zoom all the way out here. I'm going to put a bit of a maneuver out here someplace. Add a maneuver. We're going to put that a lot closer to us. There we go. And I want to see if we cannot make our as shallow as we can. So I think radially out. Yeah, that's the idea. See, so we're going to... here, let's... If I put on... settings, I think it is. There is a cache that it uses. Oh. There it is. Take the used cache off. Now it's calculating everything live. And it takes more processing to do that, but I definitely want that. So I want to make sure we do impact Duna. Okay, back to this, back to this, back to this. And I want to come in a shot. I don't want to mess this up. I want to do a nice ride through the atmosphere is the idea. See, that would be too much, but that would get me a capture, but I don't want that. So I'm thinking like that. And that should be a nice ride through the atmosphere that should spread out the heating. It should give this thing, I think, the best chance it has until for not crashing into Duna or not blowing up on the way down. What's the periapsis at? 33 kilometers? Okay. Yeah, I guess that heat shield's a lot of drag on a very light thing. So what I'm going to do, put this onto the maneuver node here, which is just purely radially out. And I'm actually going to get rid of the maneuver. We're just going to watch it from here. So I'm just going to give a little bit of thrust. We're pushing this out, and we're watching trajectories prediction. Gives us a nice long time through the atmosphere. As long as we can. I don't want an orbit, because I think that starts messing up future strategies from the Strategia mod. I am moving, aren't I? Yeah, I am. I'm just giving so little thrust. Okay, periapsis is now out of the surface. We can thrust a little more. I don't want to go here. I think that's good. I'm going to leave it at that. I want to push my luck and end up coming out of the atmosphere. All right, let's put this back on here. Let's get rid of the trajectories window. Let's set up an alarm. I'm noticing I'm not getting a time till atmosphere. I'm not sure why. But we'll give ourselves 10 minutes warning before we get to periapsis. That's happening in... Oh, that's the maneuver. Why is it giving me a maneuver? I don't know. Give me 10 minutes warning before we get to periapsis, which is happening in 2 days and 2 hours. So we'll set up an alarm for that. I think that sounds sensible. Yep. Okay, and now let's hop back to our friend, the Ike one, see how it's doing. I got this in the bag. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. The Eve one went really, really badly. It didn't go really badly, but it didn't go super great. Okay, when are we going to cross into Ike's sphere of influence? We're going to be doing that first. Okay, that makes sense, of course. And in fact, why don't we get our contracts? Because this should hopefully start to deal with some of these contracts here. I want this contract to be done. Okay, coming towards Ike. Here we go. Time warping. Faster. We're coming for you, Ike. Oh, this is looking intimidating already. Let's get rid of alarm clock. Actually, no, I'm going to need it, aren't I? Okay, that's that. Let's cross into Ike's SOI. Again, that's going to represent a whole lot more science. There it is. And let's set up, when are we going to hit Ike? Well, its periapsis is in 15 minutes. This is still 2 hours away from its periapsis, so we're going to get to watch this whole thing. Excellent. So collecting all kinds of high space science. So what I should do, I'm going to spin this around the other way. Here, let's take the time warp off. We'll slow ourselves down as much as we can to hopefully get as much near space science as we can. That's going to be the plan. Don't need this anymore either. Over torque that. Come back. Such a pretty view, Ike and Duna. Like so big compared to Duna. Okay. Still going here. How far are we from Periath? 13 minutes, and at full throttle, let's put this on full throttle. This thing's going to burn out its fuel in 42 seconds. So in 42 seconds, you know what? It has 931 meters per second of delta V left, and our orbital velocity is just 1,050 something. We're going to slow ourselves down a lot. We really are, but we'll burn the whole thing in 42 seconds. So I'm going to wait till I'm about maybe a little bit more than a minute away from the surface. I don't know exactly where the surface is. Maybe now would be better. I don't know when near space is. But it's not much off from being able to pull off a landing, though that's not what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to do this. So we are coming in here. Let's just punch this throttle, kill off all the speed that we can while we can. We're still obviously going to hit, but this will maximize the amount of time we're spending in near space once we get to near space. Let's do some physics time warping here. Completely use up this fuel. Okay, that's that. Okay, where is near space around Ike? I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. We are at 100 kilometers. 80 kilometers from the... Well, not from the surface, from the sea level. Do this from that one. 450, 40. Oh, there's our near space. So hopefully we're probably going to crash before we can transmit all that way, but I'm glad I slowed myself down as much as I could. But we're going to get off as much of that science as we can before this impact. Here we go. Oh, 6 science got transmitted from the light experiment. Keep going. You know what else you're going to get off for me? Oh, here we go. Boom. All right, and there's Ike in the green. I got one more smack to do. Whoops. No, I don't want to leave here. Let's go over to the Duna 1. And check out what it's doing. Okay, Duna. Oh, I did not position that solar panel very well. That's not smart. It's always nice to get these solar panels perpendicular to the ecliptic. And the ecliptic is always this galaxy. So that way it will keep itself. It'll always be in sunlight. That's good enough. I don't think it's too critical here. All right, let's go. Going to whoa! I'm spinning. Let's try that again. That was persistent rotation. I just got to wait for this wobble to cut out. Stop wobbling, you. I don't know why it's wobbling so much. If we turn down these reaction wheels a bit. Get the wobbling to stop. Okay, let's try this. There we go. Okay, so we're just missing Ike, which was the plan. Let's just check our trajectory one more time, make sure it's doing what... Oh, see. Duh. I don't like that. Time warp off. See how we're actually coming back out of the atmosphere? I don't want this game to think I have a capture and not give me... So we're going to bring this down a bit. Where is trajectories again? Ah, it's even worse than I thought. So I'm going to put this on the radially inwards vector. Hopefully I'm pointing, that's the radially outwards vector. It's the other way. There's still a little bit of fuel left in this thing too. Okay, this is the one I want. I don't like this coming out of... That's what the white part of this trajectory is it coming out of the atmosphere That's what I don't want. So we're going to bring this down. I want no white. Good thing I did put a little bit of fuel in this. I want to help make sure no white. There, that's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Okay. Put that back on, and too many windows open. That one, get rid of you. Okay, back to here. Actually, I don't need alarm clock anymore either. Again, position this for solar panels. Yeah, I don't want anything to happen to mess this up. Okay, here we go. Coming towards Duna. Now we're going to flip around prograde before we go into Duna's atmosphere. I should actually make sure of my signal too. Where is the signal thing? Ike might get in the way. No, I don't think it will. I think we're going to be below Ike. So I think the signal's going to be fine. I don't want to all of a sudden find myself losing my signal when I least want it to. And again, I'm not sure. Oh, that's just alarm clock. Alarm clock is slowing me down, saying you're getting close. I know. I know I'm getting close. Okay, where is near space here? I'm curious why it's not giving me a time to atmosphere when I'm clearly going to hit the atmosphere. That's a better camera. And over the poles. Look how dark. Something funny in the lighting sometimes. Not sure what that's about. Oh, got some near space action happening here. I'm going to put this onto now the prograde vector. Get this thing ready to enter into the atmosphere. I'm also going to extend this other solar panel just for balance. I can't retract this one. Oh, here, we should jack up that torque again. I can't retract the other one, and I don't want it to all of a sudden get skewed off course because of an imbalance in drag. So at least now the drag is all balanced. We'll leave these things extended. They'll almost for sure get torn off, but if I retract them, I lose the signal anyway, so what difference does that make? All right, getting science, transmitting it away. And we're going to be hitting the atmosphere at 50 kilometers. Coming over the poles, because the camera's doing its thing when it gets over the poles. Okay. Oh, some got transmitted away. We'll see how long this lasts for. We're now flying high. We are collecting science, but how long that's going to last for, I cannot say. Okay, let's keep track of this. Please don't mess up on me this time. We might end up losing our signal. We definitely will be losing our signal at some point too. That's okay. Yeah, I could retract some of the antennas, but then it'll be off balance again, and I'm worried more about this thing skewing off and then the heat shield not being properly positioned than anything. So I think having these all symmetric and keeping them that way is a good idea. Kind of a, I don't know, kind of a cool looking thing. Giant game of interplanetary lawn darts. Here, I'm going to do some time warping. This is taking more time than I thought it would. Still not technically... Oh, I just got my capture. I noticed that the apoapsis was negative. I certainly would love to see that periapsis go negative. I don't want to come out of the atmosphere. Oh, we are almost at our periapsis, which means we're going to be going back up pretty soon. I hope I came down enough. I hope trajectories isn't messing me up. But it is nice not being able to transmit so much stuff. This is working pretty good. So we're coming back up. As long as we don't cut up above 50 kilometers, we're good. We're not, because the apoapsis is now into the atmosphere. Periapsis is now negative. We are not coming out of the atmosphere. All right, temperature scan was transmitted. 9 science there. We're even collecting high flying science. It'd be cool if some of that got transmitted. I think some of it is. Neato. God, I'm at 3 times warp, believe it or not. Okay, we're now going back down, and this time we'll be going down for good. I'm not even 100% sure this heat shield was necessary. We're slowing down so well. I'm at 4 times warp, believe it or not. I'm not going that fast. Oh, we just lost our signal. And I think that wasn't a plasma blackout. That was, I'm pretty sure, just going... Duna's now between us and Kerbin. We are falling, falling, falling into the dark. Oh, this might go all black on us. I don't want that. Yeah, it's going to go all black. Okay, we'll put this on here. Oh, shoot. Okay, right at the end, but it blew up. Yeah, and the important thing is this contract is complete. Sorry it went all black there right at the end. A little bit of funkiness with the lighting. Contract's complete. That's the important part. Impactor probes are done. Let's get back to the Space Center. That went well. That went well. Okay, so here we are. We're back here at the Space Center. We have finished off that contract. We can now get rid of that. What else we got here? We've got some milestones, of course, going around Duna and Ike. A whole bunch of strategies have become available now that the Impactor one is gone. And I got the Impactor Probe, 250,000 Kerb books for me and 100 reputation. Awesome. And we're at 238 science. I was already eyeing this at the beginning. 160 science for supersonic flight. This gives me a lot of those Mark II parts, and as well the Panther engine with its afterburners, which makes me very excited. I want to start building better and better planes. And let's get into the administrative building. And next on my list, I'd already scouted this out. I want to do planetary flybys. We're going to really, like I said, this is a probe frenzy for the next little bit. And planetary flybys are to fly by 3 different planets. So this time, and I'm going to have some fun with these flybys, because if you do flybys, you can do gravity assists and get around, trying to see if I can squeeze the most out of these probes that I can. That's the plan. So I want to hit Eve, I want to hit Moho, I want to hit Duna, I also want to hit Ike, I want to hit Gilly. I want to sort of fly by, you know, use these planets' gravities to really kind of help me out. In fact, I kind of want to do it with just 2 probes. That's my goal. I want to do a gravity assist around Eve and redirect to Moho. Kind of my whole plan there, but that's all going to have to be for the future. But I'm going to grab that right now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And what are we going to do? We're going to time warp to Sunrise, and I want to build myself a little prop plane. That's what I want to do. And the reason why I want to build myself a little prop plane is for this contract right here. Barnstorm the island airfield hangars. So that means to fly through the hangars on the island airfield. And the nice thing about the propellers is that... oops. Sorry. Meant to do this and this. The nice thing about propellers is that the planes can fly fairly slowly, more slowly, and you have finer speed control. There's not jet lag that you get with propellers. So I think that's going to be a fun way to finish off this stream. Well, we'll at least build the thing and then we'll see what we got. That is the plan. All right, let's put the checklist away for now. And we have It seems funny now that I have, you know, things like the Panther jet engine, and I'm going to be building a silly little prop plane, but I don't care. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to start off with, this is just going to be a solo guy solely for this purpose. So we'll put a Mark 1 fuel can on there, and we'll put on, oh, it's nice seeing more of these parts. And let me get this, where are we here? I'm looking for those. Have I not got the, oh, there they are. It's just blind, that's all. I want the tail piece here, the tail connector, there we go. And I'm gonna apply, let's arrange these lifting surfaces by mass. I'm looking at you. I am looking at you. So I'm gonna put on like this. We're gonna make this, I'm thinking like a silly little biplane type of deal. So I'm gonna do like this, and like this, like that. And then we'll pick another one of these. Oops. Oh, why did I do that? And put them underneath. And we'll obviously be tweaking these a little bit. They're a little goofy right now, but build something a little bit more fun, not entirely practical perhaps, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, and then I'm gonna get some of these Mark 0 fuel cans. Again, let's arrange these by mass. There they are. I'm gonna put a pair of these on here, like that, and like that. What do I got for nose cones to kind of finish them off? Yeah, like this one. Oh, that's huge. Thought I had little ones. Smaller nose cones. I guess I'll be using this. That, okay, and then getting into our robotics parts, I have 2 of these turbo shaft ones. That's the big, that's the 1.25 meter one. I want to actually just use the little one. I think it should be fine with just the little one. Like that. And I'm going with 2 of them because the thing that you find if you build these prop planes is as these spin up, they produce a torque which affects the plane, but the easiest way to deal with that torque is to simply have them spin in opposite directions. So I just remove the symmetry here, so these 2 are independent of each other. And I'm gonna select this one, and I'm just gonna get it, instead of spinning in a clockwise direction, it will spin in a counterclockwise direction, and then the torque from these 2 will cancel each other out. That's my plan. And let's see. I want to get back to aerodynamics, and I'm looking at not helicopter blades. I think these ones. I got lots of great plane parts now. I'm looking forward to playing around with them some more. And we'll put them there. I'm going to take it off radial symmetry. I'm going to go 4. They're pretty big. I think 4 will be good. Like that. And then the same thing over on this side. Off radial symmetry, 4-way symmetry. Well, we'll test. I've not tested this design at all, so I'm hoping this is going to be okay. And then what we'll do too is we'll tuck this down just a little bit. Like so, sort of a little bit more streamlined. And that prop, well, we're going to have to tweak this around anyway. I like it. Okay, and the way we're going to make these work, this is going to get into action groups. I don't think the game makes these things very easy for you, quite frankly. But if I get into action groups, I got the main throttle here. So this action group is the shift and the control key, the left shift and the left control key. And I'm going to take these 2. And I'm going to increase the torque percentage. Oh, I got just one of them. Got to get the other one too. So when I throttle up, these guys will spin up. That's the plan there. I also need to, I'm also going to, oh, I know, that was still in action groups. I'm sorry. Go to the brake action group. And I'm going to take the brakes off these engines. The brakes get these things to brake too. I don't really care, and I want the brakes for the wheels, not for that. So that is that. Okay, and then on these guys, I'm going to go to Action Group 1. And on Action Group 1, we're going to toggle the deploy on these propellers. So deploy, and this one deploy. And just to show people what that does, right now the angle of attack on these propellers is like 90 degrees. They're just kind of flat into the wind if they spun around. So they don't produce a lot of thrust, but when you deploy them, right, then they have an angle to the wind, and you can adjust that angle. I typically don't. And they will create thrust that way. Now, I'm just looking at the deployed version of this. This guy's spinning clockwise, so that's this way. I think they are deployed the way I would want them to. So let's take the deploy off. Where's the deploy? Oh, wait, this one. Okay. And in this way, I can spin up the motors, get them up to full speed, and then just hit deploy on the prompts, and this thing should, in theory, go forward. Okay, this guy is spinning counterclockwise, which is that way. If I put this on deploy, I think that is backwards. I think I need to reverse the deploy on that, so that makes sense to me. We'll see. All right, time to start playing with the surfaces here. I have some elevons I want to put on here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I am the worst for knowing which way these rotate. Where I have that, oh shoot, it's where I have the, we'll put them there for now. I might tweak this. It's where that nose cone is. It's kind of uglifying this. Oh, I could do. Now we'll leave it for now. Leave it for now. Okay. Let's take a look at where the center of mass and the center of lift of this thing is. Okay, we're going to need some a tail piece, elevators and stuff. One of my favorite, I think I got them now. Yes, I like these guys. Structural Wing Type D. They're really nice for exactly this purpose. Come on. I'm going to have to do some tweaking, but like that. And then you can get another one for a rudder. And then, of course, you do have to put on some control surfaces on there. Like that. And like that. See? That's looking okay. But what I like is I can now, because these wings are on the top, I can slide these way forward. Oh, I just grabbed the engines by mistake. That's not what I wanted. Wings. Why'd the lift suddenly go down there? There we go. Probably a little bit too... Oh, that's moving the engines and everything. That's why. Yep. Oh, the hatch is there. Shoot, I gotta be careful for the hatch. Slide these back. I want to make sure the hatch is clear, of course, so the Kerbals can get in and out. Might be better to put the engines on the bottom, but I'm worried that the... Oh, well, we'll worry about this in a sec. Okay, let's fix the tail up a bit. This is angled rather funny. And slide this forward. Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't want to slide this one more forward because, I mean, I could very easily put some lifting surfaces just at the front here. Not even put anything on them per se. That looks funny. Put these guys Like not put any control, but just to bring that center of lift forward. That's all I'm thinking about. You can also play with rolling these, rotating them. That does affect where the lift is, see that? But I always find, I don't know, I don't trust the game enough. I think is really what this is about. Yeah, it might work. I think that might work. Props aren't going to hit those, are they? I don't think so. All right, we'll leave that, leave that. Okay, let's adjust these. So this is for roll. And we'll turn the authority limiter down to about 10%. This is for pitch. Turn that authority limiter down 10%. This is for yaw. Turn that authority limiter down 10%. Just for nowsies. Okay, let's get some landing gear on here. And yeah, let's use the, well, yeah, let's use the retractable ones. This is a very, very high-tech biplane. Put them around here. Where's that center of mass? We just want them a little bit, well, that needs to be much more forward. A little bit behind the center of mass. And then at the front, just a single one, of course. Is that straight? Yep. And I want it ever so slightly pitched up when it's sitting on the runway. So I'm going to take this front one and just tuck it up just a little. That should be good. We'll see how this goes. We'll definitely be testing it. I don't think it's looking absolutely terrible. I think it's something that might work. I'm just thinking what else. Oh, yes. Getting into these control settings. The last time you saw me flying a plane, I was having trouble with it spinning out, and I got a number of suggestions from the comments, and a lot of them had to do with friction control. So if we put on these friction controls, I was always confused was when they talk about friction control, is that friction in the wheel turning on its axis, or is it friction between the rubber and the tire and the runway? And it actually kind of is both, because if you turn this right down to 0, I tried this, you basically have a plane that's like a curling stone. If you land on a flat surface, you could just kind of give it a spin and it takes forever to stop. It's really rather silly. But if you put very little friction on the front wheel and more friction on the back, I found that stopped the spinning out thing that it was doing, because it was grabbing really, there was a lot of drag or friction on that front wheel, and that's what I think was causing it to spin out on me. And might adjust other things in a little bit, but I found that really helped. Okay, I think I'm just going to give this thing a test fly. This is the, I always name them after the engine, so this is a turbo shaft. So this is the turbo shaft. Very unimaginative. This is the turbo shaft 2 for its 2 turbo shafts. All right, so let's simulate this. Let's see what happens. What the heck? Why not? Who's sitting in the cockpit? Jebediah is. Go ahead, Jebediah. Yeah, it really is hard to make a normal plane in KSP. I wish the game. I like the idea of having propeller-driven planes, especially early on in the game, but I wish that the game made them just a little bit more inviting, rather than, like, the jet engines are way easier. The jet engines are way easier than the prop engines to build. So most of us just never bought. I'm not convinced those props aren't going to hit this. We'll find out. But most of us never bother with the props because they're a pain. There's no practical, not too much in the way of practical reasons for it. Okay, gonna do chase. Gonna put that on there. Now, when, and this, I might have messed this up, but as I throttle up, yep, those things start to spin. That's exactly what I want to see happening. I wish it was a little bit of a noise they made too, but they really don't. And then we're going to put the brakes off. And you can see I'm not moving forward because there's no bite on those propellers. But remember, I put that on an action group. So I'm going to hit the action group button. And we're going backward! So my reasoning was completely wrong on which way they should deploy. That's easy to fix, at least, if I can manage to click on one of these. There we go. And put the deploys the other way. So that deploy direction should be inverted. And this deploy direction should be normal. Okay, now let's see. This should hopefully go forward now. So we'll spin these up again. Brakes off. Deploy the propellers. There we go. We're going forward. And we'll see how this thing flies. The other thing I was finding when I was playing around with these propeller-driven planes is, I think because they're so much lighter than the jet planes. Let's see, can I take off? Not yet. Come on, take off. Take off. Pitch up. Pitch up. There it goes. Wow, I think I need more action on these guys. But I was saying, put this up to 20%, see what they're like. Because these planes, I think, are way lighter than the jet planes are, that when the landings go wrong, they tend to turn more into just kind of tumbles without lots of things exploding than they do anything else. I am definitely jacking this up too. While I'm at it, do this one. There we go. Boy, there's not a lot. Turning around. Okay, we're going to try and land on the runway here. So we're going to cut our engines off. Not really very dramatic, but I like it. I have no idea what the stall speed is. I wasn't really paying too much attention. It can't be very high. I'm still... Well, let's give some throttle. That's the other nice thing, is you get that instant response with the throttle, as opposed to jet engines where there's always that... there's always that delay. Okay, here we go. We're not really... Whoa, there's a lot of rudder authority there. Okay, let's get down. Get down on the runway. So that was sort of sloppy, kind of bouncy. Might do something with the springs, but we're down. There we go. There we go. I like it. I thought that worked out pretty good. Nice. And that's just with the small ones. There's bigger bigger engines on this too. Okay, let's change our terminate that. And we'll fix this up. We'll put some lights on it. And I think that's probably going to be about it. So what do we have to do? We had to change the way these deployed. So this direction, both of these were the wrong way around. Deploy direction normal. And other one, oh yeah, we put up the control authorities on pretty much all of this. I think the rudder was fine, actually. There was a lot of bounciness going on, wasn't there? See, I wish these landing gear just worked better right out of the box. Okay, spring dampeners, that's what we got to do. So it was bouncy, so what I think is we need more spring strength and more dampening strength. Does that make sense? I don't know. We'll find out. There we go. And let's kit this out with some lights. Let's light this thing up. So where are my lights? Where are my lights? Where are my lights? Well, I got cherry lights now. Look at that. I want these ones though. Navigation lights. We'll put some navigation lights here at the very, very front. like so. And will these blink? These will blink, yes. Put the blink on. Gonna color this one. Let's see. Left is port. That is, yeah, red. Like that. And then we're gonna remove the symmetry. Go to the one on the other side. This one should be green. And then we're gonna grab a couple more and we're gonna put them towards the back end of this. Right about there. And these guys will keep white. We're going to make them like strobe lights, blink on. That's good. We need lights on the bottom, the fuselage. Like that. That one is also going to blink because I like things blinking. Blink on, and we're going to make that one like an amber light. We're also going to change the color of that. And then we're going to grab another one, spin it around the other way. Get them really nice and close to each other. And this one will be also like a strobe light. Blink on and yeah, color, white. There we go. We need a couple of red and green ones at the front. Plane? I think so. White. Remove the symmetry. This one should be green. This one should be red. Just noticing, I think the roll, yeah, they look goofy. Let's fix that. We shan't have things looking goofy. We shall not abide your goofiness. That's all right. And what I like about these kind of tail fins is they're perfect for putting a light on top of them. So we're going to put a light on top. In fact, what I think I might do that. Do that. Straighten it out a little bit. I think it needs to come up a little bit. Looks okay. And you are going to be, again, a strobe light. I'll put one more on you. Oh my gosh. Really not going to let me just put something here? Okay, we'll fix this. There we go. Straighten that out. Pull that up. Okay, and again, that should be blinky. Yep. All right. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Let's give this one more. Just looking at, you know what? I'm just looking at the times. I'm looking at it. I think what we're going to do is I'm looking at the time for the stream. I think we gave it a test flight. It seemed to be pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save for the beginning of the stream on Monday to do some barnstorming with this thing to see if we can fly it through the hangars on the island airfield. We're also going to get ourselves started with the flybys. I don't know what's coming up first, but the plan's going to be flying by E, flying by Moho, flying by Duna, and anything else we can manage to gravity assist our way to. But in the meantime, I'm going to wish everybody a very good weekend, whether you are in the stream right now or whether you are watching this at a later time. And we'll see you all guys all again later. Bye.